Hello everyone, hope you're doing wonderful today. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be making a beach themed resin clock. Let's get started. The base is a 12-inch diameter MDF and I've primed it with some black acrylic. It's really important to prime your base so that the resin will stick to your base and not be absorbed by it. So I'm going for a dark shade of blue, and for the beach part or the sand part I'm using black sand. So one way of doing the sand part is putting glue and then sprinkling sand all over it, something that I have shown in my previous resin video. Today I'm going to be showing you another technique that I've learned from an Instagram channel, kara.iv.art. So she taught another technique, and you can take a look. I'm just recreating that. So what I do is take some black acrylic, whichever color sand you want to do, take that color acrylic paint and then mix some sand in it. Mix it really well until you get a mixture that is not too thin, not too thick. So if you feel it's too thin, add a little bit more sand. If you feel it is too thick, add a little bit more paint. So once you get the correct mixture, spread it wherever you want the sand part to be. Once you spread the sand all over, you can take a popsicle stick or a skewer and then make some ridges like this to create textures. Another point here to keep in mind, when you're making a 3D structure like this, especially for a clock, please do keep in mind that it should not be too high, because once your resin part is done and you go ahead to fix the clocks, it should not be like the hands are not able to move because your sand part is too high. So keep that in mind when you're making the 3D structure. So once you're happy with the way this looks, allow this to fully dry, usually overnight, and we're going to come back tomorrow to make the water part and the waves. It's the next day and the sand has dried up fully, so it's time to pour some resin. Before you pour your resin, make sure that the base is balanced. This is really important, especially when you make your waves. You don't want your resin to fall all over the place because the board is tilted, so make sure it's in balance. So today I'm going with just one color, that is a dark shade of blue, and since the background is fully dark, I want to focus more on the waves. I want that to be prominent, so I'm using just one shade of blue. I've taken a high viscosity resin. I've mixed the clear and the hardener and allowed it to set for at least 10 minutes before I mix my colors into it. After 15 minutes or so, I mix the shade of blue with the resin, mix it really well, and I spread it all over the board wherever I wanted the ocean part to be. For the white waves, I mix white pigment with a little bit of resin to make a thick mixture of it. You don't need too much. To make the waves, I will wait for the resin to reach the right consistency, that is not too thick, not too thin. Once your resin reaches the right consistency, just pour the white resin wherever you want the waves to be. Heat up the resin with the blowtorch, and then using the higher setting of the heat gun, blow to make the waves. A point I want to stress here, guys, please wear a respirator and gloves when you're doing resin art, especially resin art where you do a lot of heating. You do not want to inhale any fumes. A respirator is really important here. The first layer of resin has cured, and we're going to pour another layer of clear resin this time, followed by the resin mixed with white pigment. So this will give a more distinctive wave. The technique or the process that I follow is same as that I did in the first layer. clear resin followed by the resin mixed with white. Then use your blowtorch, heat gun and blow the weave. So when you're using high viscosity resin, please be aware of the time, because everything happens really fast and you don't want to wait too long, or else the resin will be really thick, which makes it actually difficult to work with. So we got some great looking cells there. So this one was all about the waves and the cells, and I think we achieved that look. So what do you think, guys? Do let me know in the comments down below. So we're going to allow this to fully cure, and going to come back tomorrow and put on the clock mechanism. The resin is fully cured and the clock is almost ready. So I had taped the edges in order to avoid resin drips. Along with this, what I've done is I have also painted the back of the clock and put liquid latex on it. So this works too if you want to avoid resin drips, but do remember to paint the MDF before putting the liquid latex, else the liquid latex will stick onto the MDF and it will be very hard to peel it off. So another thing I want to talk about is the sand texture. If you're not very confident about it sticking to the board, you can always pour another layer of resin over it when you're making the first layer. But this has stuck really well, so I'm going to leave it as it is. So this is what I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Make sure your sand texture is not too high, else it will hamper the movement of the hands of the clock. I'm going to add some numbers to the clock, and there you have it. A beautiful simple resin clock is ready. That's all I have for you today, guys. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Do follow for more of my work on my Instagram channel at everything_resin. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe, comment, like and share for more videos. I'll see you soon in the next one.